Expectations are high as the Super Eagles brace up for their fourth World Cup meeting against two-time world champions Argentina. Well, ahead of the game, the team had a feel of the Rio Stadium for the first time. Here's an update off the pitch at the ongoing FIFA World Cup.
Nigerian football fans in Brazil have charged the Super Eagles to approach the game against Argentina with determination and purpose. The fans are of the opinion that coach Stephen Kesh's team are yet to qualify for the round of 16 and shall see the game as one they cannot drop all 3 points in.
They should up their game against Argentina. And I think they should not rely on the result between Bosnia and Iran. They should face Argentina squarely and get at least a result, at least a draw or a win against Argentina.
They should be a little bit more aggressive and have a head start. And if they are more aggressive at the head start, it will give us a better position.
Super Eagles actually realized their limitations and they played to their strengths, which is utilizing the pace, sitting deep, and then breaking really fast. So I'd expect them to play in that manner against Argentina. And you know, Argentina has been our nemesis for a while now, from way back 2002 up until now in 2014. So I think Nigeria should try and get one back over Argentina.
World Cup holders Spain are returning to Madrid after they crashed out of the tournament with barely a fight. While fans waited inside the terminal, a bus picked the players from the tarmac as they bid farewell to the fans. United States coach Jurgen Klinsmann admits his squad is getting stronger and intends beating his native Germany to top World Cup Group G rather than settle for a point.
Well, the message is very simple. You know, we want to beat Germany. We want to be first in our group. So we're not thinking about a tie. And we know a tie gets us through too, which if it at the end of the day maybe ends up with a tie because it's an exciting game and a very close game, so be it. But our goal is to beat Germany and to be first in our group.
The USA face Group G leaders and three-time World Cup winners Germany on Thursday and need only a draw to remain in the competition.
Welcome to Sports News. A quick update on the World Cup matches being played at the present. Côte d'Ivoire may just be on the verge of sealing a place in the round of 16 at the moment. The Elephants of Côte d'Ivoire are holding the Greek national team. Well, then they're falling behind, so it's a 2-1, Greece leading Côte d'Ivoire, 2-1 now. And so the dreams of the Elephants qualifying for the second round have effectively been dimmed. And in the other Group C match, it's the Japanese trailing the Colombians 1-4. So the Colombians leading the Japanese 4-1. The Blue Samurai effectively out of it. In earlier matches played today, Diego Godin's late header sent Uruguay through to the second round at the expense of 10-man Italy in a match involving another controversial Luis Suarez incident. Azuri midfielder Claudio Marchisio was sent off for a poor challenge with 30 minutes to go. England ended their poor 2014 World Cup campaign with a goalless draw against Costa Rica to finish bottom of Group D. Costa Rica topped the group with 7 points, while Uruguay finished second with 6 points. Now, the Super Eagles have offered birthday boy Lionel Messi best wishes, but warned the Argentine not to expect any gifts from the team, who will be fighting for their World Cup lives when the two sides meet in a Group F clash. While Argentina have already clinched their place in the round of 16, the Nigerians enter Wednesday's game at Rio Stadium with their fate in their own hands. A draw is enough to guarantee they'll join the Sky Blues in the knockout phase. That's it on Sports News. Ijoma will be back with the rest of the news at 10 in a moment.
Well, from there, we move over to the foreign scene, where freedom was short-lived for Maryam Ibrahim, the Sudanese woman who was sentenced to death by hanging in May for renouncing Islam and marrying a Christian man. Now, authorities in Sudan have detained her, her husband, and 2 children at the airport as they were making their way out. Her husband said they plan to travel to the U.S. upon her release. Our correspondent, Amarachi Ubani, has more.
A large number of security agents are detaining Miriam Ibrahim and her family at the airport, and a government official explains why. A spokesperson from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Abdullah Al-Zarek, said she had been arrested because she did not have the correct travel documents, and that although she is Sudanese, she was using emergency South Sudanese papers with a U.S. visa. However, her husband, Daniel Wani, a Christian from South Sudan, is a U.S. citizen. Her lawyer says her legal team is being denied access to her. Well, still in Africa, Egypt's President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has indicated he has no intentions of interfering in the trial of 3 Al Jazeera journalists who have been sentenced to 7 years in prison. Yesterday, all 3 were found guilty of spreading false news. They say they have denied the charges and intend to appeal. And despite a plea from the Australian government for one of the journalists, Peter Grest, President al-Sisi says one must respect judicial rulings and not criticize them, even if others do not understand. Over in Ukraine, the army has accused pro-Russian militants of shooting down one of its helicopters, killing all 9 people on board. This comes a day after the rebels promised to honor a ceasefire until Friday in response to President Petro Poroshenko's peace plan. Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned that this week-long plan is not enough and more time should be given for what he called substantive talks between Ukrainian government and the separatists. We'll end in Iraq, where U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry has been holding talks with the country's leaders on a way forward from the crisis, threatening to engulf the whole country. Mr. Kerry said he'd been talking to Kurdish leaders in the northern city of Erbil and has suggested the need for a new Iraqi government that would empower people in communities taken over by ISIS. He suggested more united regional approach to ending the fighting, as it is simply unacceptable to have a terrorist organization grabbing territory and challenging the legitimacy of governments. And those were today's major headlines. It's back to you.
Thanks a lot, Amarachi. And the main news again. Gunmen today attacked 2 villages in Kaduna State, killing 38 people. And medical authorities of the Murtala Mohammed Specialist Hospital have called for donation of blood for victims of yesterday's explosion in Kano. Well, that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks a lot for staying with us. BBC Focus on Africa is up next. For now, I'm Ijoma Bunyato. You have a good night.